Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. Today I'm doing something different, and I wanted to share. We're gonna come in here to Training Grounds. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, you know I use the same mechanic almost all of the time, which is breaking green blocks to create combos. I wanted to break away from that and try something different, and that's what this video is about. Hopefully, I win! I've already played this deck a few times, and it's doing okay. So, we're using Jaya? I'm not sure how to say her name, Jaya Ballard. And the reason is her multiplication of spells. Her third ability down here allows you to draw spells from your library and play them for free when you cast a spell. And so I created a deck that I thought everybody could play. It has 5 rares in it, but there are no mythics. This deck is current, standard, legal, and the rest of the cards are either commons or uncommons. This is a goblin deck. Why not? It's red, right? Red is goblins and lightnings, and I don't have any lightnings in here, but I have a Sacred Fire. It deals damage, and you gain life. It's the only way to gain life in this deck, but typically this deck will do its thing. There are 4 ways of causing damage to your opponent without attacking. With the Rowan, when you draw a spell card... Oh, no, here it is. Deal X damage to your opponent's Planeswalkers based on the number of cards in your hands. The invoked side card of the... doesn't show you the invoked side. Is there any way to see the invoked side? Nope. Okay. The other side allows you to just draw 2 cards, which helps to fill your hand. You get both of them on the field, and they trigger each other. The next way to deal damage without attacking is with this guy. It's a support card. Anytime you attack, you put a relic on the field that does 1 damage to your opponent. It's just 1 shield, so they break pretty easily, but 2 or 3 turns and you've done 5 or 6 damage. It's pretty good. And then the last way to do damage is with this guy. When a goblin enters the battlefield, deal 2 damage to your opponent. And, as you can see, there are lots of ways to get goblins. Lots of goblins. Goblins. Okay, let's play. I have all of the sound for the game turned off. There's no music, there's no action sounds. So if you are accustomed to those sounds in this gameplay, I apologize. Okay, so not a very good opening hand. So let's get rid of our hand. We will match some red. He's got white. Ugh. Oh well, he's going to get a landfall. We need the red. And we are going to discard those 2 cards to get 3 cards. And there we go. Some goblins and a trigger. So, off to a better start. He's also got a low mana deck. So this guy allows you to create goblins at the beginning of your combat on your turn. If you control 2 or more buffed creatures, perform the following effects. Goblin tokens count as buffed creatures for some reason, and with Morningstar on this guy, it will count as a buffed creature. So this is the way we're going to play this. We have lots of mana, so we're going to use this landfall, and it at least gets him out, which starts our deck. This deck is pretty slow to trigger. I am accustomed to building these infinity decks. I'm sure you've seen, if you've watched my videos, you've seen them. This is not one of those. There are almost no continuous triggers. It's just about building giant creatures, and it's the goblin creatures. So these guys are going to come into play. There's the Morning Star, which now Morning Star rolls, creates the goblin. We create more goblins. They get haste because of the first guy. The first guy sees that they are buffed creatures. I get more goblins. And there we are, third turn, doing 19 points of damage. That's what this deck does. It's a little slow. I've seen it beaten as far as it... I'm thrilled to say it hasn't lost a game. What am I doing here? Oh, let's try and get enough loyalty to show you guys how fun. There, so we'll be able to do it next turn. And you can see that it just piles on itself, piles and piles on itself. Also, I don't know how the game mechanics work, but you'll notice that the other player is not playing like really hardy creatures. That's a common, and that's an uncommon. The artifact he has out, the enchantment, is a common. And because this deck is... Oh, I can't show you the deck. Because this deck is made up of, rares and commons, this has been happening a lot. A lot of the decks that I've been playing against seem quote-unquote underpowered. I don't know if that's... if the game pairs you up that way or what. Anyway, so I've cast her last ability. Whenever you cast a non-copy spell, copy the first 2 spells from your library and they gain full mana. And so I'm going to put this guy up. We're just going to gain some life. And we are going to... Oh, well, whatever. We're going to hit that. That's okay. And so that spell will happen. I'm not going to do this now because we are going to cast those copies. And look at that. We're going to get rid of a creature. We're going to get some life. And those were free. And this is going to put me at about 22 points of damage. Oh no. 25. Take it. And there you go. That's this deck. I wanted it, like I say, I was trying to do something different. I also haven't made a video in forever, and I was itching for it. Mostly because I've been watching some really fantastic videos on Fallout lore. YouTuber named Oxhorn. No spells. Sad face. And so I just wanted to make a video because I was inspired. Her other is blue, but it doesn't matter because we're gonna... Oh no, he's up to 43 life. I don't think we can do that this turn. And I also wanted to show something different. There's the other ability I was talking about. So we put an artifact out. It does 1 damage to him. We didn't get the other goblin trigger. The other goblin creature that does damage every time a token comes into play. But that's okay. And we didn't get another spell. That's also okay. It doesn't matter, there's no real good mana here, but the game's over. There you go. Something different from me. And something that I feel most people should be able to put together. Some of the goblin rares are a little specific, but they are all standard, which means they should all be available right now to find in packs on this Puzzle Quest game. And there's plenty of free packs out there if you play the events. Let's go back and look at her deck again just so you can see the whole thing. Here we go. So there it is. That's her deck. Like I say, it's rares are the highest, and it's the Battlecry Goblin, this Den of Bugbear, which for some reason I never got out. but it creates a goblin token if there's red gems out. Will Scholar. You still don't get to see it, but that's what the other side does, the invoke side. His +1 ability is to draw 2 cards, which fills your hand up, and then her ability is deal damage, which, and then if you cast one of those spells, the spells cascade. Anyways, it's a lot of fun. This card I actually just mastered today, and I've only been using it in these decks, but they've been mastering really fast. This is from the original Origins set, so I've had it for a while. This support card is a rare, and this Hobgoblin. So those might be a little bit more difficult, but this is an uncommon from the Dungeons and Dragons set, and this guy's from the Dungeons and Dragons set too. Oh, and so is this card. So this one is oops, that's not what I wanted. It's the magic set. What is that called? The Magic School set? I can't think of what it's called right now. Also Dungeons and Dragons. So most of these are Dungeons and Dragons. Forgotten Realms, I think, is the official title. Yeah, that's also from Dungeons and Dragons. Well, there's only 3 sets in here. The 1 card from Origins. Yeah, okay, I didn't even notice that. But there you go. So you know where you can get your cards. What is the name of that set? It doesn't matter. I'm sorry. But it's the Spellcaster set. Let's see if it's in the in the vault. Strixhaven. There it is. Oops. No, that's Elite's cards. Do they not have regular Strixhaven available right now? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so Strixhaven and Forgotten Realms. And then the 1 card from Origins, which are still kind of expensive, but commons, uncommons, and rares are a little bit easier to get. So I hope. Oh, there's Strixhaven. It's available. Oh no, that's still not available. Okay. I hope this was interesting. I hope it was fun. I had a great time with it, but I'm playing the game, so it's a little bit different. And like I say, I chose Jaya Ballard because of her abilities. Once you've triggered that 3rd ability, you can then trigger the 1st ability, which gives you a card and gains 10 mana. You'll notice that everything in the deck has a very low... All of the spells are 9 mana or less, which means that with her 1st ability, after you triggered the 3rd ability and put the token on the field, you trigger her 1st ability. It doesn't matter what card you pull because they're all 9 or less. And I'm sure you could mix it with something else. I just didn't. It's going to gain full mana. So that's a free card. And then, unless you have another spell already in your hand, you put it into the 1st position, it gets all its mana. That card casts for free, and then it triggers the 3rd ability, which then brings you 2 more cards. I have brought out, because I had a good mana drop, I've cast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goblin cards all in a row with those 2 things happening, and it resulted in a lot of damage because I did have the Hobgoblin on the field. Where is he? This guy. And so with those 6, it was 12 damage just from... No, it had to have been more than that because it doesn't matter. At least 12 damage just from goblin tokens entering the field. And then if he's on the field, then when you attack, more tokens come in, and it also... I mean, as 12 to 16 damage just from cards entering the field, which is a lot of damage in this game. Okay, so there it is. I hope you found this interesting, maybe interesting enough to try out, and thanks for watching.